Hello guys, Nexas here, and welcome back to Destiny 2. And in today's video, guys, we are here with more weapons to go over. And what we're going to look at today is going to be the brand new seasonal SMG called the Mirror Imago. So this is going to be the brand new, of course, seasonal SMG. It's Strand and everything. It's honestly so beautiful. It's kind of like a legendary Striga without the poison, so not really a Striga, but you know what I'm saying. It looks really dope. It's basically a Strand Recluse. That's the best way of saying it. But this is, of course, one of the new Act 2 weapons that have come out. You can get it from, of course, the Court of Oryx or the Court of Blades. And I will say this is actually a bit of a banger of a weapon. It's got some really nice rolls and everything, which you can see on the screen right now. So you can see you can get loads of different things, like of course the overflow target lock. It will have some of the juicy sort of PvE perks as well, like the hatch thing and stuff. It's kind of weird it didn't get sliced. I don't know why it didn't, but it will also have some banger perk in terms of the sword logic. I will say sword logic. For me, it's my new favorite perk. It's an absolute freaking beast of a perk. PvP, it's basically just 25% extra damage off one kill, which is just kind of insane. And then obviously PvE, you can get it going really consistently. It's honestly one of my favorite perks right now. And because this is a seasonal weapon, it will have the Willing Vessel Ardent trait, so dealing damage with defeating targets gradually increases that stability, handling and reload speed, or charge rate for other weapons, which I do think is actually a really nice perk. It's sort of like Nadir's Focus, not so much a field test and stuff like that, but I honestly will say the Mirror Imago, this is honestly just such a beautiful weapon. It's going to go obviously a ham PvP and PvE, especially with sword logic PvP. It's gonna be like, I'd say, kind of in the middle of old school Recluse and like pre-nerf or the nerf Recluse and stuff. But the Imago itself, we gotta showcase what it's like in some PvP and PvE. So without further ado, let's go in with the Imago SMG. Alright, time for the PvE side of things, of course, with the little Imago that could. I am gonna use the Risk of Rain or the Rain Fire Pants because these weapons burst bullets. And there's our first kill. We get the sword logic go. We'll rail this guy. Oh my god, as I said, sword logic is so nice. But yeah, I have the Rain Fire Pants on mainly because these shred and they freaking unleash lead so fast, like 900 RPM. You run out of bullets so quickly. That's a bow, but you run out of bullets so quickly, so I kind of need the fire pants on because I'm a terrible reloading this. But I will say that this SMG, it should be a really dope PvP, of course. When you get the sword logic going, the damage is of course going to be nutty, and also it fires, as I said, really quickly. And oh, you got smoked. Oh my god, we juked him. There's the dodge. You got our freaking sword logic go with the extra damage. Yo, young man, you're a 1 HP. Will you just fight the honorable duel as I heal? Oh, you just got juked. Oh, the leg break. Oh my god, we're light. Thank you, Strand Recluse, coming in with that freaking shank. Oh my god, we just got stalled on. But I think that people who are actually good with SMGs, like, they wouldn't be my forte, but like obviously there's a lot of Titans out there, Peacekeepers, and other people like their SMGs. You will like this in PvP. I think sword logic is just, it's honestly kind of insane. 25% extra damage in PvP is kind of nutty. I know they might nerf it sometime because obviously that's what makes the Redrix S stock just ridiculous. That one kill and it's just absolutely insane. But on the SMG, as I said, it kind of reminds me of like pre-nerfs. So what? Kind of nerfed, like mid-nerfed freaking Recluse. Buddy just got shanked. But when Recluse got nerfed the first time, that's what this kind of reminds me of with the sword logic. It's honestly really dope. Obviously, you kind of have to do your headshots, but what you do, it's just so nice. We get the sword logic going, and with the Willing Vessel as well, you can just get the extra handling and everything, which is just so nice. Now, there's a couple of dudes up here, I think. Yo, oh my god, nope. Freaking bow. The SMGs, though, they are kind of a certain place style. Oh my god, he's so weak. There's so many people over here. These guys are holding hands. I don't know if it's against the stack. Give me that one. Thank you, we got one. I just killed him with a tangle. But man, these guys are always together. But I will say that these are obviously for a certain play style. You kind of want to be up close to personal, so obviously Titans do really well with it because they can melee really well, and obviously Hunters kind of do well too with the dodges and stuff. But 900 RPMs, a lot of people will probably tell you should really use them by themselves. Oh my god, let's try this guy. Oh, sword logic is so nice. But a lot of people will say you kind of use these as like alley-oop sort of weapons, and I just got pre-fired by a tether. I have never seen something so unnecessary in my life. You pre-fire with a tether. But 900 RPMs, people would say they're kind of clean up weapons and everything like that, so you should use like, I don't know, grenade launcher or something to get them weak and then whip out, or even use these as like a secondary use. Oh, use the sunshot or something in the middle saw or igneous and everything. When you get the weak, you just run out with the SMG. You can definitely do that. That guy killed himself. You can definitely do it with, of course, the with the SMGs. That's what the build for. But as I said, this still can't go in by itself. And ooh, double kill. Oh, we get this guy. No, don't let me run out. Don't let me get one more. There we go. Oh, that's a shotgun. I'm so dead. Yo. Oh my god, the shotgun. But even though it's 900 RPM, I still think it's worth kind of going in by itself. It can absolutely shred if you get your headshots. I mean, 900s, I think they're really dope. It's just, obviously, range is going to be your biggest enemy. And the fact that it just doesn't really have... Oh my god, he actually got me. But the fact that it doesn't really have any, I'd say, range sort of roles in terms of like a rangefinder in that middle slot, or even like dynamic sways and stuff in that middle slot. A lot of people will definitely turn off of this, stick their immortals and everything like that, which makes sense. But I do still think that with sword logic, this is just so juicy. And man, this bow guy is legit railing me every second. But even without those sorts of perks and stuff, I still really do like PvP. As I said, as long as that's sword logic, I'm all over it. As I said, sword logic, it's my new favorite perk. And oh my god, please kill him. Oh my god, he actually got me midair. But sword logic, it's my new favorite perk. It's basically what Rampage should have been. It's really weird that they actually kind of gave that to us and just left Rampage in the dirt. But any weapon with sword logic is honestly, it's got to do really, really well PvE. And oh my god, it's heavy, but it's got to do really well PvP. All right, we need to get a kill streak kind of going. We'll get this guy. Oh my god, I whiffed a bit. We got the kill. We got sword logic going. Please no one kill me while I'm reloading my health. That will go again. No, Mantle, you son of a... Oh my god, if I don't... Okay, I've got one. I just reprocs the sword logic. The fact that sword logic lasts for like 7 seconds is honestly just... It's kind of nutty, and we're so weak because of the Strandlings, but lasting 7 seconds is just kind of nutty. It means that you can get a kill and actually like regen your health and then peak, and you probably have the damage buff going. So I said any weapon with sword logic for me, it's gotta be really, really dope PvP. Oh my god, we sure are lumped. Oh, get that subsistence guard. Don't even have to reload, or else we just dodge. Oh, get this Muchacho though. He is one shot. No, come on, run a leak. Man, when you get the sword logic going, oh my god, this is just freaking delete people. Oh, that's a freaking sniper. Oh my god, this still hunt. As I said, overall, the Imago, I think it's a really dope SMG PvP. I think that with the right role, you'll do work, but there probably is other ones in the game right now with better sort of, I'd say, like dynamic sway rolls and sorts of stuff. But I will say, as far as the weapon feels, and also with sword logic and everything, it kind of feels like the mid-nerf, I'd say. Mid-nerf is the best way of saying it. But the mid-nerf sort of Recluse. It feels really nice PvP. Alrighty, time for the PvE side of things, of course, with the little Imago that could and everything. And this is where it's going to be probably a lot better for a lot of people with subsistence on this as well. And of course, I do the sword logic just because you can get the extra damage kind of going. But there is hatching rolls you can go for and other sorts of things. But with the Unraveling Realm mods this season, and also just Strand in general being really, really dope PvE, this is actually going to be so dope. I think a lot of people are going to definitely want to use this in the LPVE scenarios, especially the top slot, where I will say there's not exactly a ton of Strand SMGs. Like there's the Mortal and stuff, but there's not many though that have like 900 RPM and also have these like really nice sorts of rolls. So I definitely do think that for that alone, it's kind of worth it. And also, as I said, it does have the overflow hatch thing, which is got to be so freaking nice. And there it is. I was looking for this. Yo, I can't aim. But yeah, PvE, of course, this is a ton better. I mean, it's kind of built for this, I'd say. Like in terms of PvP, it was great with rolls and everything, but Strand this season with hatch thing and all sorts of different sorts of rolls you can get, it's just, it's so beautiful. Again, of course, the exhaust going, there's mods for that too, or the severs. And unraveling rounds is just so nice for that extra little bit of DPS. It's just, it is just so nice in the PvE scenarios. So I can already tell you right now, if you're getting rolls, definitely keep someone like the target lock sort of rolls, or of course the old, as I said, hatch thing rolls, sword logic even, because it's got to go really, really well. And of course, with the willing vessel too, you got so much, but you gotta see, I'm unraveling rounds pretty much going consistently because every time I pick up an orb, I get more. Obviously, though, the weapon's not gonna exactly be an absolute DPS machine, so that's why the sword logic is kind of nice, because you can, of course, get extra damage going. But I'm not sitting here saying it's gotta be the most DPS potential sort of SMG in the world, but it is just a really nice sort of addition to it, as I said, especially in like kind of, I'd say the lower tier sort of engagements where you can get like tons of kills real quickly. It's gonna be really, really nice, especially with the subsistence. I do rather overflow a little bit because it's basically just doubles your mag on pickups or ammo pickups, which is nice. But for the most part, I think subsistence is why it's just gonna be. It's just a solid ass SMG instead. It sort of reminds me of obviously Recluse, because I mean realistically it's the same model. But it's also the fact that you can just spam the shots so quickly in this. And I know right now a ton of people are gonna hit me with the, yeah, but I got a god roll multi-back, which attrition orbs and kinetic tremors. Yeah, that freaking weapon is insane, the multi-mac. But if you want to go in with a nice Strand build, as you can see, I'm getting unraveling rounds kind of going all the time. This is going to be a really nice SMG, because as I said, there's not that many SMGs that are Strand that are actually really good PvE. Alright, I'm going to switch it up a little bit as well. We're going to go in with our own little different role with hatching, of course, so we can't spawn a little freaking worms in. Oh, actual wormed. Well, of course, we're going to get a Trendlings kind of going, especially with this build on Warlock, when I obviously get Trendlings spawning off these. And of course, with the Broodweaver or whatever, I can get so many little, like, of my friends kind of going, which is a really solid build PvE. And this is what, as I said, people would talk about multi-max, like Connect Tremors and stuff like that, but it's like a role that people could definitely go in with if you wanted to, like, spam out, of course, a bunch of Strand sort of herbs and everything. That actually is going to be really, really fun when you kind of get them going and everything. As I said, they are obviously really dope when it comes to damage. And what the hell just happened to him? What? I just got sent to the moon. Well, we'll go kill this guy. You can see how my little treading's going. As I said, it is really nice to Warlock when you get the treadings going. Everything just gets blasted by them. So, as I said, sword logic is nice. But if you want some fun builds in PvE, obviously the old treadling roll and everything is just going to go really, really well. Especially kind of, you see, with all my treadlings, or not my treadlings, but the strong grapples, the tangles, it's overall just a really solid build. So, I just think, honestly, PvE, you know, we gotta get this guy, thank you. I just think PvE, you know, that this weapon is just, it's so nice. It's so freaking dope. I just think it's a 5 out of 5 in basically both PvP, PvE. If you're a guy who likes the 900 RPMs, you're gonna do work with this in both scenarios. Alrighty, final boss time, of course, with the little Imago that could and everything. And as I said, this is just a really nice freaking SMG in the PvE scenario. I think that this is where, oh my god, he's wasted. This is where it kind of shines, I think, a bit more, even though PvP was great. PvE strand weapons do so well when it comes to this, obviously, treadlings and these, like, tangles and everything. It's just so freaking nice. So, yeah, I definitely will say when it comes to PvE, this is an absolute beast, but do not sleep in a PvP either. I think that, it's just one of my new favorite SMGs to use PvE. I love the multi-mac, don't get me wrong, but this actually just goes ham in PvE. Well, that is it for me, and of course, the Mirror Imago SMG itself. As I said, this weapon is just, it's basically like a Strand Recluse. It's so freaking nice, and it honestly works out really well in both PvP, PvE. PvE, it's a little bit better because, as I said, artifacts this season as well really blend into it when you look at this one where it's unraveling orbs. You also have Disruptor Spike, which is good for when you sever things, and of course, you have the Elemental Supercharger to get your super back. I didn't really use it that much, but you get my gist. It's really, really nice, and of course, the right build. And oh, I missed the treadling one. No, I missed something. I forgot to have the treading perk on, which would have been really nice for the hatchling. But we had hatchling anyway, so we're spawning our friends in regardless. But I will say overall, Mirror Imago, it is a really dope boss SMG. As I said, it works in both PvP, PvE. PvP with a sword logic roll. It honestly reminds me of like the semi-nerfed Recluse. Not the full like Master of Arms nerf where it was like what, 15% or 10% or something like that. The semi-released one where Master of Arms is still somewhat decent. The sword logic one kind of reminds me of that. It's really, really nice. I will say, apart from maybe like the GL, the Psychopomp and stuff, this is probably one of the best seasonal weapons from this season. This is probably one I'd definitely be looking at getting. Actually, Division was nice too. Basically, all the arc weapons, the void weapons, and maybe this Imago, they're just really, really dope. So yeah, I definitely will be saying, if you're farming out for some seasonal weapons, definitely take a look at maybe getting a roll or two of the Imago, a sword logic or a hatchling roll, and honestly, you will do work with it. It's so nice. But regardless, if you liked the video, show us a like. And you want to see more content, subscribe and Plastic Day. And hopefully I'll see you in the next collective in the next one.